I have here a list because I feel that I have to be prepared here. This is going to be a pretty in-depth stream. The boys are going to come along as well. So the communicated show boys are going to come along as well, and we're going to give our take on this whole thing, man. But I just told them that, you know what, just chill, relax. Let me go off first, and then I'll bring you guys in. So, but I felt that I have to just pull this off first, man. I have to just get this off first. Let me even not send these guys the link, and then I'll go first, man. But I have a list right here, and there are just a few things I need to get off my chest. I need to get these things off my chest right now. So, but let me just give you a precursor to this list. This was the last straw. This was the last straw. So as of right now, I'm in full assault mode. I said, you know what? This is the last straw. This is the game where we now decide whether you keep your job or you don't keep your job. So this is it. This is the game. And it was perfectly set. At home, Ziyech was back and City were missing key players. So this was where it was, aha, we can now go on. We can now figure everything out. So, because I wouldn't have accepted a draw. I wouldn't have accepted a draw. Not only did Chelsea lose, this has to be the most embarrassing beatdown I've seen in a long time. I cannot remember Chelsea being as outplayed as this before. Like, unless somebody can remind me, I can't remember the last time Chelsea were outplayed this badly for, I would say, 80 cents. Because for the first 10 minutes, Chelsea seemed to like had City on the road. So for 80 minutes, 75 to 80 minutes, City totally, completely took Chelsea to school. And a guy, Ilkay Gundogan, who people think is finished and is done, took him to pass. So this was a painful defeat. This was painful and this was bad. This was painful and this was bad. And guys, please drop a like and subscribe, because guys, we're going in. We're going in. I'll answer all your questions. I'll answer your questions. I am here. I'm here to be fully transparent. I'll answer all your questions. I'll answer all your questions. Be here. Eddie, I see you in the back. Eddie, I see you in the back. But Eddie, let me just go off first. Let me go off first, and then Eddie, I will bring you in, because Eddie, I know that you've got stuff to get off your chest, man. So let me just get this off. So let me go through this list, because I had to make a list, as you can see, and I will now go through this list very simply. Giroud and Tammy. This links into Werner, but I want to focus on Giroud and Tammy. These are your two natural strikers. Not only are they your two natural strikers, these both strikers actually been on form. They've been scoring. And I said before that Giroud should be the first choice striker. As long as Giroud is fit, he should always start. When me and Natsi did the preview, I said this is arguably the strongest lineup. But as strong as this lineup is, and even if that lineup is still good enough to beat a weakened Man City, I still said to Natsa, Giroud should be starting. Because Giroud henceforth should now be the first choice striker. If everybody's fit, Giroud should always be the striker. And then you now fit whatever you need be along. Because an argument can be made. You maybe go a 4-2-2 or a 4-2-3-1 and you play Werner in behind a Giroud. But Giroud should always be playing. This genius, this freaking genius, who was given life by Harry Redknapp, for 90 minutes, Giroud and Tamo did not sniff at the pitch. Daniel, I see you in there, but Daniel, let me just go off. Let me go off, and then I'll bring you in. This genius, for 90 minutes, did not bring on Giroud and Tammy. For 90 minutes, Chelsea did not play with a natural striker, because Werner is not a natural striker. He's not a natural striker. For 90 minutes, he did not play a natural striker. So please do not see the kind of genius that we're dealing with. The Timo Werner complex. Timo Werner was Lampard's signing. And as we all know, Lampard is a very prideful man. Lampard does not strike me as a man who can admit when he's wrong. because he's had and lived such a privileged life where he's been loved. He doesn't know how to be humble and be like, I got that wrong. Yeah, I messed up there. So Timo Werner played for 90 minutes because in Lampard's pride, he has to get Timo Werner to work, because if Timo Werner doesn't work, it's on him. Because if we insult Timo Werner and we say Timo Werner doesn't work, who bought him? Who vouched for him? It was Lampard. Lampard, you vouched for him. So Lampard breaking it up, Werner breaking it up, Werner messing up, it's on Lampard. And because Lampard is prideful, and some of the managers do that, since I bought him, he has to work. Because if he fails, I failed. And I'm too prideful to think of this thing four-dimensional and say, yes, I messed up with the signing. This was bad, Werner. We can bring you on at another time, but no, Giroud must start. I must bench, because it's not about me. It's about the club. It's about what I serve. It's about the institution. 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1 is the formation, guys. That's the formation. Because we'll get to Mount to talk what 4-2-3-1 is the formation, because 4-2-3-1 is the formation in which Kai Havertz can work. This clown, this freaking rookie, he brings on Kai Havertz onto the pitch to play in a midfield three. Why? Of what effect? What effect was bringing on Kai Havertz at that time? What would that have done? Are you seeing the genius that we're now dealing with? Cho and Ziyech. How poetic was it? How poetic was it that Cho was the guy that got the freaking goal? It was obvious that Ziyech was struggling back from injury, because remember, last time Ziyech came back from injury, he was struggling because it was his first game back from injury. And he was struggling yet again. But this guy brings on Cho with what's in the 60th or 65th minute. Again, you're seeing the genius we're dealing with. The guy is clueless. I digress. The midfield. As I said again, look, the midfield, they got lubricated. Okay, Gundogan was invoking his inner Drich and Xavi Iniesta, but, and this obviously goes to the Kante Mount, the midfield simply isn't working. And that midfield got completely overrun. It got completely lubricated. Is that the right midfield? And the key thing is does 4-3-3 work for this team? Does it work? But I'm going to get to why the midfield isn't working, because this now goes to something deeper, which is the dressing room and the players. Kante. Funny. Whenever these things happen, Kante is always singled out. Kante didn't have a great game. Kante definitely suffered. But my God in heaven, how much does this man have to freaking do? Because Kante is still trying to tackle, still trying to intercept. Of course, he didn't have a good game. But it seems as if whenever he has a bad game, people now want to put the blame squarely on him. On my Lord in heaven, yes, Kante had a bad game. So did a lot of players. The only player who comes through this unscathed might be Pulisic. Because from Ziyech to Werner to Mount to Kovacic to the defense, Chilwell, people were trash. Guys were trash. So I don't want to hear, this isn't by Kante was one. No, this is a team thing. It's a team thing. It's a collective thing that comes from the top. Mount. What is the function of this guy? I'm begging you, please, guys, proper Chelsea fans, what is the function of Mount? Because Mason Mount, I believe Kovacic is a press-resistant guy that's passes the ball. Jorginho, same thing as well, keeps hold of the ball. Kante, he is the he gives the midfield the cement. He is the DM. He just helps to just give the solidity to the midfield. There has to be a midfielder that comes from the midfield who attacks. That is Iniesta's role for Barcelona. That was Modric's role for Real Madrid. So for Mount, where are the goals? Where are the assists? Where is the creativity? You numbskull, dim-witted, cultist Chelsea fans. What Phil Foden is what you think Mason Mount is. But because you're so stupid, you just are trying to feel that Mason Mount is what Phil Foden is. When you look at Phil Foden, that is a baller. That is a player. Mason Mount isn't a iota of what Phil Foden is. And that's a fact. So please tell me, what the bloody hell does Mount contribute to this team? And what I said before, if Mount, who is an average player, is indispensable, and plays 90 minutes every single game, what does that tell you about Chelsea? Because this psychopath known as Lampard has a freaking dumbass agenda that he must prove to people that Mount is indispensable. If Mason Mount is indispensable to this team, it shows that this team is going nowhere fast. The substitutions. No. Sorry. Halftime. Guys, and I'm sure the guys, Eddie and Dana, will agree, that first half was garbage. And as I said on my Twitch stream, oh my gosh, Giro on, Cho on. There were no subs, but it was telling. It was telling that there were no subs. It's not the fact that he didn't make any subs. The fact he didn't make any subs meant that he had to have a very strong halftime team talk. And he obviously blasted those players because he felt embarrassed by what the performance was and he wanted them to have a reaction. Well, obviously there was no reaction because that's why you brought on Cho and Billy Gilmore. 90 minutes. You need to get back in the game. You're down a lubrication. And the guys who have been in goal scoring from Tammy or Giroud don't come on. Do you see the genius we are dealing with? Two more things and I will bring the guys in. I have no idea what's happening. This team has no ideas. There's no creativity. I don't know what these guys are trying to do. What is the personality of this team? What are they trying to do? This is vibes. This is vibes. This is vibes. These guys have nothing. And the scary thing is, and someone said this on Twitch, I put this on my tweet. Lampard might be the first manager who has spent 200 million to regress a team. I don't think anybody has spent this amount of money to regress a team. That is a golden quote. Shocking. And the final thing here, lazy players. Guys, we know what has happened. After the Arsenal game, he branded the players lazy. We know how dressing room politics work because we've seen All or Nothing. We've watched the documentaries and read all the books. The players must have taken that away. Guys, we know what has happened. The players have given up on Lampard. And we know how things roll in Chelsea. A mutiny is amiss. And right now, I'm sure that there is a split in the dressing room. Because guys like Mason Mount, Chilwell, Tammy, they're riding for Lampard. Havertz, Werner, Giroud, Kante, Kovacic, they're like, get out of here, bro. Lampard has lost the dressing room. And as I always say, Football 101, once you lose the dressing room, you never get it back. That is a point of no return. Lampard is at a point of no return because you can see right now that Lampard, you can scream and shout at this players all you want. These players know that if the choice has to be between the players and the manager, the players will always win. You can't sack the players, but you can sack the manager. Lampard, your position is now untenable right now. So right now is what is the fallout going to be? Because right now this is it. This is the last straw. It is obvious that, and Daniel, thank you so much for reminding me because I'm going to retweet that video. Daniel, thank you because I said this when this guy was hired. When he was hired, I said this years ago when he was hired. Don't celebrate your legend being the manager of your club. Zola is why I supported Chelsea. Zola is one of my favorite players of all time. I never want Zola to come close to Chelsea, never. Because I don't want that for my memory because of what Zola means to me. So I don't want Zola anywhere near Chelsea. Because playing and management is different. Lampard needs two things right now. Lampard, you can either do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is step down. You are out of your depth. This was a job too far. Derby County to this, it was far too much of a step up. You couldn't take the pressure. This is the toughest league in the world. And as Pep Guardiola showed, Pep Guardiola schooled the freaking heck out of you. It was an embarrassing tactical beatdown. It was embarrassing, bro. Embarrassing. My Lord in heaven. Pep Guardiola, that is one of Pep Guardiola's greatest ever victories. It was bad. Real bad. You either step down or get sacked. Guys, Eddie, man. Talk to me, man.
I'm I'm trying to find Frank Lampard's post match, so forgive me, but I want to know what he said. So
Well, okay, real quick. So I've already said we won the second half. I'm joking. I'm depressed. This team should get relegated. I hate admitting it, but you might be Lampard. You see, guys, you see what's happening?
Uh,
Eddie, talk to me, man.
where do you start with this performance, man? Like, where do you even start? But let me start from something I've banged on about all season, or since Lampard got hired as a manager. Frank Lampard played midfield, and I don't remember the last time I saw Chelsea control a game from the midfield. The midfield today was utter trash. Yes, we can get on the attack, we can get on Ziyech, we can get on Werner playing down the middle, we can get on Pulisic, but you have to start from that midfield. Mason Mount, my God in heaven, how bad was this guy? Pulisic didn't have a great game either. Kante was left exposed by them too because Mount and Kovacic were lost for pretty much half the game. Like they were non-existent. They might as well not have turned up today.
It was
like
bad.
we might as well started. It was horrible. And then you get to the attack, and the reason why I say I don't want to get to the attack too much because you could see Pulisic trying to do something. Pulisic trying to dribble. Pulisic trying to beat a man. But the thing is, after beating a man, what the hell was in front of Pulisic? There were no runners from midfield. Ben Chilwell at some point gave up on the ball he could have got to. Like I literally saw the ball running and he left it because he was like, what the hell am I going to do with the ball? If I get there, I'm going to have to cross it. Who am I crossing to? Timo Werner, who's in between two 6 foot plus defenders, and he's what, 5'10", 5'11"? What do you expect him to do? So even the players don't believe in whatever Lampard's trying to do anymore. That's the reality of what we're facing right now. The players don't believe in what Lampard.
But Eddie, real quick, do you think is it a thing of the players being trash, or it's Lampard has lost the leadership? Like, what was the explanation for what we just saw?
Today's a combination of everything because he was watching Chelsea. There was no team structure, there was no shape, there was no style, there was nothing. At some point, it was dry. Like watching Chelsea pass the ball was just dry. I don't know. Did you see Manchester City pass the ball? It was smooth, quick. You pass smooth,
Bro,
pass smooth.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Every time Chelsea got the ball, you would see you get the ball from Ben Chilwell to Mason Mount to Kante to Thiago Silva to Zuma to Aspilicueta, then to Zia. You could literally tell where the ball was going. But Man City was just boom, boom, boom. 5 passes, they have a shot on goal. So, look, you have to start with the midfield because that's where I think you win football games. But also that the whole organization of the team is bad. It's trash. You can tell Lampard still wanted the team to cross, but Ben Chilwell said, "Nah, man. Look, I ain't trying to cross the team of Werner. Like if you want me to cross, get me Tammy Abraham or something." And what is that? What is this in-game management by Lampard? Can someone explain the subs to me, please? Make the subs make sense. I have said this since the Tottenham game. He doesn't know what he's doing in the middle of the game. Like, what was Billy Gilmore doing on that pitch? What was he going to do at that point? If you brought on a striker, I would understand because you're trying to chase the game. If you brought on Havertz at that time, I'll understand because you're trying to chase the game. Billy Gilmore. What? Nah, I mean, look. I said last week, he's got to resign because I don't think...
But he won't resign, though.
Look, well... then Abramovich has got to do what he's got to do in it. Like, I don't care if they part ways. I don't care if he gets sacked. I don't care how they scripted or worded. He's got to go. He just has to go because we can't keep doing this. We really can't. Like, How bad can he get now?
Okay, what's it called? Daniel, talk to me, man. Talk to me, man.
I mean, whether he stays or goes, I don't. It doesn't really matter to me because I've been proven right. So I don't care. He could stay for a few more weeks, a year or two. It doesn't really matter because it just is what it is. I was listening to his post match, so I missed some of what Eddie said. But the one thing that stuck out to me is he said, if you go back and you look at Man City and Liverpool in Pep's or Klopp's first year, they had weird results. And I'm looking at him like, so are you putting yourself on a level with somebody who won the Champions League or treble with Barcelona, did damage in Germany, and then another manager that's been to 2 Champions League finals, brought Mainz from nowhere, won a league with Dortmund against Bayern.
No. 3 Champions League finals. 3
with Pep.
Dortmund. Oh, I say Pep or Klopp.
Well, the first one was Pep.
Okay, that's right. Pep. Yeah.
So that's 3 Champions League finals, right?
2.
2.
If it's Pep, it's 2 because he won the treble twice
against United. Yeah. And then Klopp, obviously, I'm just like, you're not on that level, bro. Like that you haven't proven anything to say this project is somewhere on a comparable level with City or Liverpool,
he really believes himself. He really believes his. The delusion is what scares me.
I kind of get it to an extent, meaning if you are Frank Lampard and you have been, people call you one of the best midfielders in the Premier League and whatnot. And, when I remember when he was hired, one of the things that even me to an extent you hang your hat on is like, bro, apparently he's really smart. So, they do all these IQ tests and whatnot, and like his number's pretty high or whatever it is. IQ. By the way, the IQ test is racist. Let's just put that out there on Front Street, but we can get into that maybe on the Talking Tactics extra. But for whatever it's worth, the way that they measure intelligence, apparently he's pretty high. So I am Frank Lampard, all-time scorer from midfielder in the Premier League for Chelsea. I'm pretty smart, whatever the case may be. I can kind of understand the arrogance. And if you don't process the fact that you're getting this job because of your privilege, you might actually believe that you deserve to be in the place you are without actually doing the investigation of why am I here. So from his vantage point, I can understand the arrogance to a point, even though from the outside it looks dumb. For today's game, I hate to I sound like a broken record many times, but I remember last season's game. If I could maybe I'll try to sound different. Pulisic had a crazy goal. There's not really
so is this the game that gave Liverpool the title?
I'm not sure what the numbers were, but it was the game where Fernandinho got the red card and Willian scored.
Yeah, that game. I would say it was pop the bottles down game. Yeah.
That game. You see, I don't know what Lampard did in that game that would have created the situation where Pulisic goes he runs basically the whole pitch, beats 2 players, slots it past Ederson, and then he makes Fernandinho decide, like, okay, we're just going to get a red card here. Willian's going to make the penalty. Like, there was no tactical acuity with those 2 goals. Like, they just happened just because. Maybe you could argue the last one, the situation that was created. So when I think about playing Manchester City, a lot of people are like, well, we beat them last year. You have to kind of investigate how that happened. It wasn't because the team did anything spectacular. It was more that Man City imploded. So now today, when you have a Man City that's on top of its game seemingly, and it's not going to cede you silly opportunities that it did last year, now you have to actually have something about you to combat that. And they didn't. But again, and this is kind of where I've been repeating myself, I don't really expect Lampard to do that. And it's a bigger conversation about why the club hired him in the first place, because he wasn't ready.
To do what?
Say again?
To do what? To do what? Did you expect Lampard to do what?
Have a plan to beat Pep What has Frank Lampard proven in his 3 years of management that you could trust him to come up with a plan against Pep? Don't worry, I'll wait. Like the Cat Williams, Maybe I could critique him by the fact that you didn't play a center forwards at any point in the match or recognize number 9. But we've all complained that Werner doesn't play well on the wing. So, I mean, it's pick your poison. Either Werner's playing number 9 or quasi 9, whatever he's playing. But there's no striker, or if Werner has to play, it seems because of the price tag, because of Frank Lampard's loyalty, because of all of that. So
wait, my theory, because I want to bring Natsa in, because Natsa, I did say that win, lose, or whatsoever, we would do this post-match film, because Natsa, you do deserve to boast and everything. But Daniel, real quick, my theory, maybe Eddie can comment on this. Do you think that because Lampard vouched for Werner, bought Werner, and so forth, it's a case of, I can't admit that I fucked up with this signing, I messed up with this signing, so it has to work. And also, key thing as well, because I want you guys to think about it, the no subs at halftime. What was that about? When you saw what happened in that first half, what was the thinking of? You're not actually going to make any subs at halftime, knowing that, bro, this ain't working, and we are getting totaled here. I mean, complete work out of the game.
Didn't he make 2 changes against Arsenal
at halftime?
Yeah, he brought on Jorginho and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't know what that exactly did to the game, and I don't think it helped much of anything. So I've seen Mourinho say in the past that if I had 11 substitutions, I'd substitute everybody. But because I don't have 11, I'll just keep the same team out there and use the 3 that I have along the path. So maybe that's more what he's thinking. That if I could change everybody, I'd change everybody. But because I can't change everybody, let me not single anybody out in particular. And we have to consider the fact that reports are now coming out that there are some Chelsea players who are against Lampard, or just like he's having some commotion in the dressing room. This come out, I think, from The Athletic. So,
I saw that.
If I pick 2 people to come off at halftime and I single them out, that's probably going to be bad for me in the long run, because that's perhaps 2, 3, or even 1 player that I don't know if they're against me, but if I do this publicly, they could be. So he's probably playing a long game in that sense and just keeping it regular. And what are the chances that any substitutions that he makes get you 3 goals and a half against Man City? So just lastly, I do think because my only criticism of Lampard has been, if you're doing anything obvious to scuttle or sabotage the team, I'll criticize you on it. I do think once you're down 3 goals, there's no excuse to have both of your strikers on the bench and you don't bring them on at any time. That doesn't make sense to me. So I will criticize Frank Lampard for being naive in that sense, to where the plan that I concocted to beat Pep, I'm gonna stick to that for the whole 90 minutes. Like, you can't.
Okay, so Eddie, quickly on that, and I want to come to Natsa. So Eddie, on that whole thing of like not bringing on any strikers, bringing it down 0-3.
I still don't understand it, man.
Where's Abdullahi, by the way?
Abdullahi is stressed, man.
No.
Are we sure he's okay?
I hope Abdullahi is safe. I hope Abdullahi.
Bro, I hope
he's okay.
I asked on the group chat. He hasn't still replied.
Because I think this may have tipped him over the edge. Seriously, so. All right, Eddie,
look, I expected Callum Hudson-Odoi to come on with a striker. That was the standard sub to make. I mean, everyone could see it. Ziyech was going to come off because he's obviously just coming back from injury. And I expected a Giroud or a Tammy to come with him. Standard. But there's literally no excuse not to bring a on, man. You're chasing 3 goals. You've got 6-foot-plus defenders and a fight for whatever striker. I don't know what the exact height is, but I know Werner definitely is not 6 foot. And the fullbacks were not interested in crossing the ball into the box to Timo Werner. Even Ziyech wasn't even crossing it in Werner's direction. He was putting it the other way. So, I mean, you had to get a striker in there to at least do something. If you want to do crossing, inshallah, get a cross in there, get a striker in there. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
Bayern came back. What? They were down 2-0 to Mainz, and they won the game 5-2.
Oh,
they scored
Jesus.
5 goals in the second half.
Okay, wait. Okay. So Natsa, man, look, man, Natsa. We had a pre-match and preview and so forth. You know, you didn't seem too confident in everything. And Natsa, look, I'll
Reverse,
give it to
reverse.
Okay, reverse. See,
That
for me-
Abbey is disrespectful, by the way.
very disrespectful. You see,
Please change it.
as I said again, like that has to be one of the most Pep Guardiola victories I've seen in terms of the passing. Like the passing and movement in that game was outstanding, and I think Chelsea just got outschooled and just completely outplayed. So, how surprised were you by how good City were, and how surprised were you by how crap Chelsea were, or how crap City made Chelsea look?
First of all, I want to apologize to you for whatever I say in this hangout. I want to apologize to Eddie, Danny, and of course HH. Especially Abdullahi, because Abdullahi doesn't want to hear this, okay? I am saying right now, you guys more look like a relegation battling team than Arsenal, okay? Arsenal showed you what's up at the Emirates. We showed you what's up at Stamford Bridge. I think what the players are saying to themselves in the dressing room right now is, remember when Benzema said to, what's it called again, Mendy, Vinicius playing against us. Lampard is playing against you guys, okay? This guy is playing against you guys. You need to get rid of him ASAP because Pep Guardiola outclassed him in every department today. And I didn't expect this. With no striker. Raheem Sterling was missing chances and you guys still managed to concede 3 goals. What happened to Thiago Silva? What happened to Zuma? Zuma needed a good defender next to him. He ain't doing anything. Mendy, I said it was a battle of the black goalkeepers. Guess who won? I don't think Stefan had one shot.
Stefan
one
did
shot
have,
to take
Yeah, he did have one shot to save.
to save.
He
So
stole
what
his
kind of
check,
battle was
man.
it?
He didn't do nothing, bro.
Well, bro, I enjoyed every second of it. But I wanted to say right now, if you guys don't sack Lampard, because right now you're playing with a guy that's name is Mason Mount in the midfield, and you're telling him, please create for me. What? What? And you're playing with a manager called Frank Lampard. This guy is like I said in the beginning, this guy is a rookie. Why would a club like Chelsea want to hire a manager that has no pedigree? You guys always hire the guys at the top, Antonio Conte, Mourinho. Like, okay, let me get into City because Chelsea, like, I don't know what to say. I said in the beginning, like Ruben Diaz, you have to put him the best defender in the world currently because this guy has
In the
single-handedly. Yes, right now currently.
The world?
Yes.
What?
Yes, because we in Europe we have the best defense. In Europe we have the best defense. We've conceded the least goals of every team in Europe. So maybe Atletico Madrid have a better defense.
No. Atletico have a better defense.
Yeah. Apart from them, we have the best defense. So, because we don't play defensively. Maybe this season we're more defensive, but Atletico Madrid, the whole game is based around being defensive. And this guy has completely transformed Stones' form. Stones was supposed to be the brick that's going to leave City. Completely transformed him over. Zinchenko looked like a decent left back playing next to Ruben Diaz, which he isn't even a left back. He's a bloody midfielder playing out position. Cancelo, on form. This guy, if he's playing at top level, he's one of the best right backs in the world. Technically, creatively, even that pass that De Bruyne missed, one vision, one pass straight away through, and De Bruyne was in it. He should have scored that, to be honest. I don't know, bro. This might be the game that takes us to the title because the way we play today, defensively especially.
But because for me, like,
oh my God, this
it-
makes me sick, man.
it was one of those games. So because it's weird now. So basically, that Arsenal game, I think everything goes back to that Arsenal game. Because before that Arsenal game, it was like Chelsea couldn't destroy them. Arsenal winning relegation battle and so forth. Ever since that Arsenal game, Arsenal have now gone on an amazing run. Guys, you know that? Oh, I forgot. Arsenal are now officially 3 points behind Chelsea.
Wait, before you say anything, I just want to respond to Alex one on the comments. He said that I said Ferran was generational. I did not say that, and Gatlock was just spreading lies. Okay, I just want to say that.
Okay. So my thing is, so Arsenal are now officially 3 points behind Chelsea. Actually, wait, let me just quickly just get some of these chats in and then I'll come into you guys. So From Yassir's side, HH, listen to Lampard's post-match interview. I genuinely believe he won't get sacked. He speaks as if he has no pressure on him at all. Yeah, look, Thingy gave us the load and he's deluded. Hence why I'm launching a campaign to get him sacked. A campaign needs to be started to get him sacked. Costly awesome. Like Claude from AFTV said once said, it's time to go. It's time. No, it's not time to go. It's time to F off. From Rodrigo Rodders, I come here to confess I was Lampard in, but recently I can see what you guys saw before. We need to get Tuchel or convince Nagelsmann. Hey guys, complicated Chelsea show, man. It's what we've been saying, and we were hated for it. We were hated for it. Daniel Vincent, what do you think of Ruben Diaz, 23 years old, and has led City to currently having the best defense in the Premier League and Europe? I said this at the start. Pep gets a defender. And Ruben Diaz is just a defender. He's all right on the ball, but he just understands the basics of defending. And I think once he has that, it is key. Look at what Van Dijk did for Liverpool. And I think that he has done wonders for Man City. So yeah, like Ruben Diaz definitely is... He is one of the best young defenders out there for sure. You still need to respect Van Dijk, respect Ramos. But you know what? Maybe Diaz might be top 5. He might be top 5.
Okay.
Again,
name me 5 defenders better than Ruben Diaz.
As I said again, now
Name it right now.
I think about it because Golden has gone. See, Skriniar is pretty good though. I still say Skriniar is still pretty good. Upamecano has sort of gone. So you could, he may be top 5. He might be top 5. Okay, from Andrew Laurie, who says that. I already read that. When Whimsical thoughts, I feel bad for Eddie. He's up early in the morning for this. Wait, what time
is it?
It's 6:20 this morning. I stayed up all night to watch this freaking game.
To watch a lubrication. You stood up to watch a lubrication.
The game was at 3:30 in the morning. From 3:30 kickoff. I'm gonna go sleep after this.
Okay, what's it called? From Zoatseng TV says, now I see why Sarri played Kante higher up in midfield. Kante simply cannot quarterback or dictate the flow of the game. I want to get into Kante afterwards. Red Devil Studio, Manu go 10 points clear of Chelsea if we beat Burnley. Boo! Bielsa clumped. Rory Jennings from the kickoff said, Mason Mount is to Chelsea what Bruno Rashford is to United. There really is a civil war within Chelsea fans. There are clowns there, complete and utter freaking clowns. Which are those dumbass proper Chelsea fans? Rodrigo Roda says,
how does that come out of your mouth, bro? How do you utter that kind of nonsense?
Brainless. Rodrigo Roda says, last season it was Sarri remnants. He has no clue. Andrew Laurie says, I changed my mind. I'm Lampard in. No, wait, no. Yes, Lampard in. But Ole out. Trust the process. Lampard needs time. No, he doesn't. What the heck? Lampard out, Lampard in. Okay, I think Andrew Laurie might... I think he'll be having...
He's broken.
Yeah, he's broken.
Confused.
Okay, Gatlock. Breaking news. Abdullahi in transit to London to punch Lampard and drag him out of Chelsea for losing to the manager he hates the most.
We couldn't reach him because his phone's on airplane mode.
Guys, I figured it out. Wait. I'll continue. So Nitsus A says, couldn't beat Man City's MLS goalkeeper. That's messed up, bro. And from Nathan Rosario, De Ligt and Diaz, top 5 centre backs. Mm-hmm. Big fact. Screw CFC. I don't know. De Ligt, no. I don't know what you're saying.
What about De Ligt? I don't know about De Ligt, you know.
Guys, I figured this out about Abdullahi. You see how much he hates Pep Guardiola.
Oh, yeah.
This was the worst possible loss for him. Hence why, if you're out there, call me. Call me or call the helpline or something. Call me. Okay, to Daniel, Eddie, and even Nasa as well. Kante.
Okay. Now
let's talk about it.
So the worst game, maybe outside of the World Cup final because he was just sick and they played him just because he could. But the worst game I think I saw Kante play was against Spain for France. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but they washed him. Busquets, Isco, Silva, the whole Spanish midfield is basically washed Kante. And it was kind of like, bro, like, Deschamps, help him out. Like, you can't have this one guy against 3 or 4, however many technical midfielders. It just doesn't make sense. But in their mind, This guy can he's like three people. He's like the Flash. He can be here, there, everywhere, all at once. Maybe 2015, 2016, you could get away with that kind of stuff with Conte just because there wasn't as many miles on his clock. It's 2020, guys. He's going to be 30 next month or sometime in the next few. Yeah, I think he's 29.
Yeah, he's 29.
So he's going to be 30.
He's going to be 30, 29th of March.
Yeah, so in a few months, he's going to be 30. So I don't think you can ask 30-year-old Conte to do what 24-year-old Conte was doing or 25-year-old Conte was doing. So that's number one. Especially not in a game against Manchester City where they have the quality in midfield to pass it around him and just make him chase shadows. Now, as for the sitting in a DM and kind of what Sarri was doing with him, it made sense because Jorginho, in the style of football that Sarri wanted, Jorginho at the base of the midfield makes sense because he's just somebody who can pass it and just keep the midfield well lubricated, shall we say.
Oh my god.
No pun intended.
No. But with the way Lampard plays, I think he's decided I don't necessarily need a metronome in there. I just need somebody who can sit and protect Silva, Zuma, whoever the center back partnership is, because I'm going to focus my play primarily down the wings. So that means the ball's going to be with James and Chilwell and Cho and Ziyech and all those kinds of guys. So do we really need somebody in the middle of the park who just like pops it off? Maybe not necessarily. Or at least that player isn't as vital as protecting the center backs who are going to be exposed once the fullbacks get forward. So Conte there, I can understand why Lampard does it, but I don't think he can be as effective there as he could be with what Sarri was doing. Now, I feel like the 4-3-3 doesn't get the best from Conte, because how would I describe this? Because I don't want to waffle necessarily, but Conte's best was in a two-man midfield. So
4-2-3-1
with Antonio Conte, and with Claudio Ranieri, the 2 seasons or the 3 seasons, and 2 of them where he won the league, he was playing in a two-man midfield, and that's when everybody was like, he's the best.
So it was him and Drinkwater at Leicester.
It was him and Drinkwater, him and Matic, him and Fabregas. Like those 3 midfields, I would say were the best that he played in. Once you switch to a 3, he has to find a different role. And Sarri was like, okay, because I want Jorginho at the base, you have to play a little bit more forward because I still want that destroyer capability in the team. Lampard, like I said, because he's trying to play a little bit differently than what Sarri was doing, he wants more protection from Conte. But if you want the more protection from Conte, you have, especially again in a game where you're playing against highly skilled technical midfielders, you probably want Kovacic and Conte together in a 2, and then have just a number 10 like a Mount or a Havertz who can just, that's their creative position. So I feel as if 4-2-3-1 would get the best from Conte, especially in big games, because you don't want him outnumbered like we saw against Spain, like we've seen many times against just really, really good midfield. So Conte's declining. I think that's evident for everyone to see once you look at the miles that are on his clock, once you look at the injuries that he's picked up over the last few years, and then the positions that he's asked to play. Like, he is declining. I don't think there's any way around that. And I don't know why anybody wouldn't expect that, considering, again, his age. But you can help him if you want to. And just don't think he's just some road runner, long-distance marathon runner who can just do everything for you in the midfield. It's like, I have this idea, and wherever there are holes, Conte will patch it up. No, like, you need a bigger idea or a bigger scheme.
No.
Conte
Give him a specific role.
For me.
Yeah, give him like a specific role that is perfectly compatible with the player that he is right now.
But okay, and just lastly, you can say all of that, but Conte still has to do the basics correctly, like pass the ball accurately, trap the ball with the first touch. And today, he wasn't on job the way that he normally was. So I can shoot him all the bail I want to because I like him, but at the end of the day, he didn't play well, even if he was set up in a situation where I think it was best for him, I don't know how well we would have seen him play today. So
Eddie, thoughts on Kante?
I mean, Daniel's pretty much covered most of
I
it.
waffled. I'm sorry, Eddie.
I think the miles on his legs have kind of impacted how much he can cover, and he kind of needs help tactically, for him not to cover as much space as he does, or for him not to do as much as he used to, or as much as he's required to do now. Because when Chelsea are attacking at the moment, you see Mount and Kovacic or whoever the two CMs are just off the field, and Conte has basically got to cover the opposition midfield by himself. And with the technical midfield that Man City had, you could see they were cutting through that midfield like crazy. It was too easy. You had to feel bad for Conte. You had to feel bad for Conte because he was like, "Where the hell do I go?" The worst thing that could happen was De Bruyne was playing false nine, but he was also dropping into midfield to create extra numbers. So Conte literally didn't know where to go. He was like, I got De Bruyne here, I got Gondwan here, I got Rodrigo. Where the hell do I go? So again, 4-2-3-1, like we've cried for most of the season, would help Conte. But somehow Lampard doesn't see it. And yeah, I think we saw last year with injury. I think the fatigue has a bit to play with his recent form as well, because I don't remember the last time Conte had a rest. I don't remember the last time I've seen Conte rest. I've seen Mason Mount rest. And if you're talking of playing this up-tempo pressing football that Lampard thinks he's playing, you need players who are fit. You need players who can run.
You need to rest guys. You need to rest guys.
Exactly. You need to give these guys days off and let them recover before they come back in the game and play. But he's not doing that. So if he's coming in tired as well, he's not going to perform. Yep.
But another point, and then before I come to Nats, I think Nats can come on this. If you go back to that game last season, the Pop the Bottles game, I think everybody knows how to beat the Pep team. Sits back, counter. He sits back, counter.
Exactly.
First 7-8 minutes, Chelsea really had City in the room. So, oh my gosh, City, because they were struggling to come out. Stefan had that crazy thing where he picked up the ball and everything. So Chelsea were like, oh wow, maybe we can do something. Then as each football game goes, momentum just shifts. And I think that once City now found their passing game, Chelsea were still pressing high. And City were like, oh gosh, this is our bag. Because if you just beat this press, these guys are screwed. Because the issue is if you now sit back, City now have to, because they're a passing team.
There's no space between the lines once you
But once because the amount of times Ilkay Gundogan just slotted the ball through past Kante, Mount, and people just coming onto him, it was crazy. So
it was bad.
Bypass that midfield.
See, and that's why a lot of people would say Conte. But whenever you see Conte chasing a midfielder that's beating him, and they're on to the Chelsea goal, it's like, yo, Conte's not playing well because he's supposed to stop that pass. But if there are literally 4 options, and there's only one person to stop 4 options, we can laud Conte's game reading as much as we want to. But that's a 25% chance.
Yeah, it's a
33% chance at best. There's too many options for one person to stop.
So
but Naza wanted to.
Yeah, but when you won the league in with Conte, who was playing next to Conte? Matic, right?
Matic or Fabregas, yeah.
And when he won the league with Leicester, he was playing next to Drinkwater in a 4-4-2 system, right?
Yep.
Kante was never a DM. I don't know what people have there. Never a DM, because DMs usually in your mind they could pop up to your head. Fernandinho is a DM. Casemiro, Busquets. They are very good. They don't run a lot. They're very good at reading the game and making that 2 steps ahead and then read the game and they're an intercept. Kante was never that. Kante was never that. And him being told to have that position, because I don't think in the beginning of Kante's career he was never a DM. He was always a midfielder. So for him to play that role, to intercept passes, especially from Manchester City, it's not ideal, because if he's the only guy that knows how to defend, it's never going to be ideal.
Just if I could catch you just quickly. this is something that I did critique Sarri on though, because I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Conte would have been 27, 28 when Sarri arrived, and I was thinking, well, seeing what he did for Leicester and seeing what he did for Antonio Conte. This can't last. So I know Sarri wanted to bring Jorginho, but for me it would have been better for Conte's development if they would have played him as that kind of DM number 6, just static and just protecting, kind of the Makelele role. It probably would have been better for his career moving forwards, meaning like into 31, 32, 33, 34, for him to sit there, because it would have avoided, I think, many of the muscle injuries and things that he got. So I was all just about protecting him as a player, just for his future longevity, because I think he could be actually really good as a static like DM. But he hasn't played there enough to know
And
what to do against, again, when I say Spain, when I say Liverpool, Manchester City, like in the big games where the midfielders are better than him technically, it's just too much, and he can be badly exposed in those ways. So
And when Matic left that season when he won the league, Kante as well, he got exposed, because the thing is, Kante in France, he plays a pragmatic system. With Conte, he played a pragmatic system. With Leicester, he played a pragmatic system. In Sarri, as soon as he went to Sarri's system, everything went downhill for him. And people have been saying Kante's not as good as people are talking about, because he was never that player. People were always thinking that he's Makelele, Vieira. Come on, this guy is not the same player. So I think you should, guys, if you want to get the best out of Kante, Lampard cannot be the manager. You have to have a different kind of manager that will play him in the right position.
Well, see, I think if Conte had enough time in that role, it could work. It's just he's too green.
Yeah, no, because because basically, like,
because we could probably count on our hands and toes the amount of times Conte's played as a number 9 or a number 9, a number 6. I have dyslexia, so the 6 looks like the 9 in my head. So yeah,
no, because as I said, because basically when Sarri came in and started to move him further off the field, it's like, oh, this is a whole new territory, and you could literally see him learning that position. Throughout, so making mistakes, but then slowly improving. So now he's now been pulled back. Now you're like, okay, so you've spent a season playing up. Now you're now playing back. You now have to return this position.
Thought of something that Lampard did that really pisses me off. By the way, Sarri spent 12 months or 11 months playing the same formation every day. He drilled 4-3-3 into the team. You had a season of a team that won the Europa League. Obviously, you can say, yeah, they had Hazard or whatever the case, but you had a whole season of a team that had just left a pragmatic 3-5-2, 3-4-3 system with Antonio Conte, and you had a manager, one of the best at this formation in the world, drill a formation into these players and into that team. And he decides...
But I don't blame him leaving, though. You guys were the sorry, bro.
If this was what Sarri created, Lampard went like this and just threw it. That pisses me off so much. Like, if Conte was playing well as kind of an 8, or not an 8, but like, in between an 8 or a 6 or whatever that would be, just as one of the advanced 2 in a 4-3-3 midfield.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. Why is Conte now all of a sudden having to change?
No, wait.
It annoys me so much because you just threw out a whole season.
No, but see, before I come to that, see, Daniel, it's like, why did Pep Guardiola move Lam into a DM after Bayern just won a treble? Every manager does it, because you know what every manager does is like, wait a minute, no, I'm the new manager. I can't just copy what the previous guy did. I have to show that, hey, it's about me. Every manager has that ego thing of that they want to instill their own thing that is separate from the previous manager.
What does Frank Lampard know?
Nothing.
So just do what the guy before you did, because he knows more than you.
Daniel,
like, Pep, I can
we
trust
know who
you.
we're dealing with. Daniel, look at who we're dealing with.
It's Frank
It's
Lampard,
an arrogant man. We're dealing with an arrogant, prideful man. There is no way that he's going to now come and copy a foreigner, an Italian.
If Julian Nagelsmann came, I would understand the manager, or like he has his own managerial theory and he needs to do what he needs to do. Frank Lampard, you came from where? We don't know you as a manager.
Yeah.
So why not just use the blueprint that was given to you that got 3rd place in the Premier League and won a Europa League. I don't understand why you want to tinker as much. Now, maybe I understand it on like the ego level of just like, this is my team, I want to do what I want to do. But just pragmatically, it never made sense that there was 4-2-3-1. Then he was playing with back threes, and it just 4-2-4. Like, it was just so much stuff. I was like, just build on what was there before. And I thought that's what the club was trying to do with Sarri, was trying to move away from the pragmatic Italian Mourinho managers. But
So okay, so now it's like, is this the turning points for Man City? Like, after this, is it like boom? This, because my thing is that I don't think this is the reason why it's not a real turning point, but just a great victory, is because Lampard is trash.
what does the table look like, by the way?
I'll bring it up. So how do you view this victory then? Turning points or what? And then I'll bring up the table, Natsa, and then I'll come to
You
Eddie.
gave
Then.
Arsenal a turning point as well, so you're going to give us a turning point as well? You've just been giving gifts for Christmas.
You're welcome, Nazir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. But turning point, I think our turning point was since, I don't know, since our defense became... Who's it? Oh,
Southampton have a game in. Oh my! How are you level on points with Villa with 2 games more? Sorry, I'm talking all over Nazir, man.
But our turning point, I feel like it was since our defense became solid, since Ruben Diaz came. That's our turning point. It just needed to be gelled into the right way. We just haven't had the time because COVID, the games are coming thick and fast. So we didn't have the time to do it. This new system is very different, so it took us time. But I don't think this is a turning point. The turning point happened long time. But goal scoring wise, putting 3 past you without a striker, that'll mean a lot. But not every team plays like Chelsea. Not every team plays like Chelsea. Not every team plays like Chelsea. So there's gonna be games where we're gonna have to break down teams even harder because
Because you see, Natsa, sorry, I was just saying, Chelsea or Lampard played right into Pep Guardiola's hands. Because
I told you a counter attack, like De Bruyne started.
No, but that's it. It wasn't even counter attack. It was the ease with which they were able to beat the press, because Chelsea were coming in so much, and the way that past the 1-2-1-2 triangle, the amount of triangles City were just creating all over the pitch, it was elementary.
Yeah, Lampard wanted to outplay Pep in his own game. That's what he wanted to do. Like, Lampard is nowhere near as a good coach. He wanted to outpass him, outplay him, and he ended up paying his price. Last time when he played against us, he parked the bus. Because he can't outplay City. Even Liverpool don't outplay City. Even Liverpool sit back sometimes against City and try to counter them. So how are Chelsea going?
Yeah. Like you have to see, but no, basically it's like, see, but this is not where it comes to management, because the narrative was, and then I'll take some of your chats. The narrative was, my God, look at all of the injuries and the COVID thing. Man, these guys are going to be really. And I also remember they missed a training session as well, because their training ground was closed because of COVID. So like, man, they're coming in.
They replaced that training session with the one today, bro. That was a training session for them. look how easy. That was a training session they missed from.
I didn't expect it though. I didn't expect it whatsoever. I thought our squad was
like no, guys. Let me level with you, man. That was bad, man. That was like the ease with which City just outplayed. Like, basically, that is what you get sacked for. Like, for your team to get so outplayed in your own home ground, that is what Abramovich should sack him. If Abramovich was allowed back in the country, that's where he sacks him in the tunnel. You know.
But no, have hope. Look how many teams have games in hand though.
This table is.
So Spurs, well, the top 2 have a game in hand, but they're
Some
gone.
teams will drop points. So
Spurs have a game in hand. City have 2. Everton 1, Villa 2, Southampton 1. Is there anybody below that can get
Villa?
over
Wait,
26?
Villa have 3 games in hand over Chelsea.
Two. They
Oh,
have
so
15.
two.
Is there anybody below who could catch Chelsea that
No.
has no?
No.
All right, so
Arsenal.
nah.
You mean game in hand?
Look
Okay.
at the Arsenal and Leeds.
Games in hand.
Arsenal and Leeds have 3 points behind Chelsea.
Oh man.
The Arsenal game wasn't a sackable offense because Arsenal had a penalty and a free kick, at least, and a goal. Like, he didn't mean to score that goal.
Yeah.
Saka didn't mean to score that goal. But this game
No, the performance. No. I disagree. The performance against Arsenal was trash. I don't
It
care
was
if
trash,
the goals
but-
and a penalty and a free kick. It was horrible.
No, but I mean the way you got outplayed. You didn't get outplayed by Arsenal that much. Your horrible was performance, but you dominated possession.
What?
Oh no.
Dominated possession.
Emil Smith Rowe outplayed Conte.
You did
Eddie,
outplay them in
Eddie,
Oscar, but
Eddie, this was worse. See, that was just like, I think Arsenal just sort of fought harder and wanted this more.
Exactly.
City, this was like a technical schooling. This was like, no, we are just beating you down for balling wise, man.
This was a schooling because of poor management by Frank Lampard. Because when we all saw the lineup, what was the first thing we all thought? Counter attack. Chelsea sit back, give Man City the ball. We hit them on the counter because that is the only explanation to why Werner was playing striker.
Yeah.
Like we all
because
said,
he needs space.
we get the ball on the counter. Yeah, you get the ball, give it to Ziyech. Ziyech finds Pulisic and Werner running, and we ride. But what happens in the game is we get the first 10 minutes. Man City let us have the ball. Frank Lampard gets fooled into thinking he's prime Klopp, and he thinks, "All right, boys, we're onto something." He's there.
I'll play devil advocate in that way because if say for example you sat back at home where depleted City squad that are not as good as they would have been, say you sat back and you lost the game, it will be even worse. It'll be even worse because you could have taken the game to us. Like taking the game to us at home with us, with the problems we have, was a better thing than sitting back.
If we sat back, City don't break us down that easily. I'm telling you that for a fact.
You can't really
Chelsea opened up like the red light district for these boys, fam. It was too easy. It was like, where do you want it? Just get the ball away. Aspilicueta was lost. Like this guy was beyond the halfway line. Chilwell couldn't get back to play Sterling, and Thiago Silva and Zuma looking like not a fullback.
See, my thing is that what's the point in playing Aspilicueta over Reece James if you're just going to get exposed like that? Oh, was Reece James injured?
I don't know.
James is injured. James is injured.
Okay, he's injured. He's injured.
Okay, guys,
just
because I'm sure you want to wrap this but Mendy, do we have any comment on Mendy?
Near post. Was it the second goal?
The first one.
The first one, you should receive that too.
Yeah,
whichever Mendy we want to talk about. Maybe Naza has comments about the other Mendy.
Oh,
and the foolishness that he's up to.
Yeah.
Big Bob Latina.
Big Bob Latina.
BBL fam.
the guy was on
¿Cómo estás?
Ay, papi.
So, yeah. The first goal.
No, but
was,
somebody just put in Black Kepper on the comments.
Daniel,
Wow.
we knew this. We knew this, man.
The first goal was. I don't think anybody's stopping that one, except unless you had crazy anticipation. But I'm pretty sure he thought Silva would get the block, but he didn't.
But no, Daniel.
The second one. I don't know how much I believe in the whole near post thing, but if it was Kepa, I'd blame him. So I need to blame Mendy as well. The third one, what was the third one?
De Bruyne. Like Sterling hits the no.
Yeah,
Daniel,
you can't do anything with that one.
We don't know, but if you look at the first goal,
the second goal's not good.
No. If you look at the first goal, watch it again from behind.
Change your name.
Shoot his capacity.
No,
but Dan, if you look at the first goal, if you look at the first goal though, you can see that it sort of goes under him. It didn't actually go right into the corner, so you can see
he
reacted.
Got his hands to it or fingertips.
Well, it sort of went a bit under him. See, I thought it went into the corners, which would be difficult to do, but it sort of went.
He was there. He just didn't touch it like he needed.
Which means that you should save it if you.
But again, he's 6'6". So imagine if that's Kepa or Pickford or one of those guys. He's not getting there. So it just
okay. So let me just.
The real question is check though. The real question is check. Check is the one that said I want Mendy.
Could check save it?
Okay, so Miguel Rabina says, I have no problems with sacking Lampard, but don't replace him with another pragmatic manager because that's not where football is at. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Andrew Laurie says
Chelsea have called Tuchel by now, or just like they've inquired. I wonder.
They must have. Okay, because the last thing before we round off. So Andrew Laurie says Kovacic doesn't work in 4-2-3-1. He's a number 8. Bro, try it, and then we'll then see. So last thing before we round off.
The only midfielder who works in the current system is Mason Mount. And I'm sorry to tell you, but he's trash. And that's a problem for Chelsea.
Imagine that's the point, though.
Fix up. What?
Imagine that's the point, that Lampard wants a midfield where Mount
Yeah.
is at his peak, and then everybody else has to fall in around that.
Yeah. Because Mount is indispensable.
Because Mount has his role. He has the free 8. Like that's what he's
That
supposed to
makes
be
me
doing.
sick. That makes me sick.
Because
How do you
that-
spend
that-
200 million to build a team around Mason Mount?
It's sick. It's sick. Okay. So, guys, last thing before I round off. Lampard. Does he step down?
No.
Does he get sacked?
No.
Does he get given till the end of the season?
Yes. No, yes.
Man, no, Lampard stays for me. Lampard stays.
Get out of here,
So-
man.
Okay, so how bad does it need to get before he gets sacked?
Like 15th.
I think what
Put it this way: one more win and everything will be fine. Chelsea fans will go back to, I knew it. He's still the guy. All he has to do is win the next game or an FA Cup tie or something like that.
they were
and
ready
they're back.
today.
Hey, did you watch
They
that
were
video I
ready
sent
today.
you
I could see
on
the
your
tweets
DMs?
from-
Did you watch that video I sent you in the DMs? Like this guy just ranting.
Oh yeah, I did. Look,
That was embarrassing.
Complete clown. See, no, for me, my thing is Lampard is not stepping down, which is what scares me. And I think no matter how
not.
bad it gets, because he's so deluded and is so up his own ass, he's not going to step down. So this is all comes down to Abramovich. I think for me, my thing is that how bad can it get before he gets sacked? And
How many games have you guys lost though? Like 4 games 4 games not winning, or is it?
I mean,
I think you haven't won 4 games right now.
look at that form: 3 losses, 1 win,
yeah.
1 draw. And
Yeah, 4
that's
games
what 5 losses, 7
Yeah.
wins,
He
5
has
draws,
to go
5
now.
losses.
He has to go now if you want to save your season. You have good enough players to get in the top 4. If you sack him now, you have a chance.
No,
If there's ever a time to sack him because of top 4, it'll be now. But the club's not going to do it because they're going to wait until Lampard has no chance to get in top 4. That's when they pull the trigger. But it makes no sense to me because if your aim is to play Champions League football next year, you act quickly now like a big
you
club.
have to act quick. I think, trust me, if Chelsea, because see, I still believe Chelsea will still get top 4. I just still think that they'll do it by virtue of the quality of their players. But the more and more I'm
Based on
seeing it,
what?
I'm like, you see, my belief is they will win in spite of, not because of. But the way that things are going right now, the players have
Hey,
given up on
Sheikh,
him.
pull up the table. Pull up the table.
It is not having it. It is not having it.
Pull up the table. Liverpool's a lock for top 4, yeah? Man City with 2 games in hand are pretty much locked into top 4. Mourinho, is not going to give up on top 4. And United fans are already crying for 21st championship.
For me,
That's
Tottenham
4
are making-
teams already.
For me, Tottenham are not making top 4. For me, Tottenham
Are you
they
sure?
can only beat teams designed for them. Like Leeds, they're designed for them to beat.
Yeah, like
Man
for me,
City,
I don't think Tottenham gets
Huh?
top 4.
Like they
How
fought
about
against
Leicester
Wolves.
City? Leicester City.
No,
They have a good
Leicester,
shout.
no.
They have-
No, Leicester, no.
You never know.
No.
You never know. They're playing very well.
No. Okay, look, guys. Look, like as I said again, let's round it. So now, look, man. As I said again, win or loss or draw, I said we'd do this thing, and congrats, man. That has to be one of the best performances that I've seen City have under Pep, and Lampard was a huge and big reason for that because I think Lampard gave Guardiola and City the platform to perform like that without a lot of their key players, which is just what makes it even much more embarrassing.
You're going to get
And-
clipped.
Oh,
Gatlock is like, this is a
Yeah,
moment.
you can clip it. You
This
can
is a
clip it. But
receipt moment.
wait. But what's receipt?
for me,
Yeah, Chelsea will
I-
make top 4.
I think Chelsea are going to make top 4, so then obviously they're going to finish 7th, and then you're going to get clipped.
I thought you said it. I said Spurs. I don't know what.
Oh man, wait, how many
Thank
man,
you.
the amount of clippings that exist of me?
Fam.
Listen, guys go back
You know
to like
the
5
most
years.
annoying thing is like there'll be a clip of HH in my mentions, but then they'll be like at
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
why am I
yeah,
in this at? Like 17 ats. I just mute the conversation. Like I don't.
So no, but for me, as
The one-
again,
the
I
one
was
from Serie was
Lampard
funny.
out, man. But you know, I told you, I was Lampard out when he got hired. So I wanted him sacked the moment that he was announced. So I've been on this from the get-go. And the situation, Chelsea are now in a crazy situation because you are dealing with a guy who is completely deluded and feels that in his mind, he doesn't really care about trophies. I'm just the Chelsea. That's the worst thing. Every manager is under pressure to deliver a trophy. He is of the mindset that I don't care how much I spend or what players I have. I am the Chelsea man. Since I'm the Chelsea man, I'll always be supported. And that is the sickest thing that annoys me, is the filthy, stinking privilege that this guy thinks he has, that he has all the time in the world. But look, guys, thank you for joining me in here and so forth. Embarrassing, terrible, disgraceful, awful, and just complete trash, man. Guys, peace out.
Abdullahi.
Stay true.
Abdullahi.
Find Abdullahi if you're out there.
I think his
man.
hell is
Abdullahi
even worse
is
but after that loss.
Abdullahi's fine.
Abdullahi,
Abdullahi's
don't eat
fine.
anything. Abdullahi, don't eat anything. I repeat, do not eat anything. Peace out, stay true, and Frank Lampard, you absolute prick.
Lank
Screw you.
Lampard? Is that what you just called it?
No,
Frank.
no.
Oh, I thought you said Lank Lampard.
Lank
You know what? Lank Lampard.
Lank Lampard.
Larank,
You know,
Larank.
guys, I think we have a new name.
I didn't mean it. I didn't
We have a
mean
new
it.
name, and I'm going to tag you in it. Lank Lampard, you
Wait,
complete
H,
lose.
it should be Larank. The R, don't forget the R.
No. L. Lank Lampard. So it's like LL. Lank Lampard.
Lank?
Okay,
Lank Lampard. Lank Lampard, you absolute complete piece of crap rookie. Step down, you absolute loser. Peace out. Peace.
I don't agree.
Become a Football Hut member and gain access to cool emojis on the live streams and get access to new YouTube content by clicking the join button here. And to view that new content, head over to the YouTube channel homepage and click on the community tab over here.